So here are just kind of, this is just what I run. I usually run pretty low shadows, but I like them on a little bit because you can kind of see contrast between certain things, and I feel like it makes seeing players a little bit easier. But I definitely do not have those turned on high because it's very strenuous on your your PC. Settings wise, here are my settings. If you guys would like to screenshot anything, you can do so, or pause the video wherever you would like. One thing I really suggest everybody do is turn on sprint by default. A lot of players don't have this on, and they use a button like shift to sprint, and I feel like that just kind of wastes the space when you could use shift to something more important, like crouching or editing or something like that. So I definitely suggest putting sprint by default on. And then for my mouse sensitivity, my X and Y, I use a Logitech G502 mouse, so I have a couple buttons on there, but I also use a 1800 DPI on it. I definitely run a little bit higher DPI than most players. Some players do run a little bit higher, but a lot of players run lower. The reason why I like the higher DPI is because I come from console, like I said, and to build quickly on console, you have to use a really high sensitivity. So I'm really used to a high sensitivity. I used to, when I first started, the first like 2 days, I used a 4K DPI. Do not do that. Like, do not go above 2400 DPI. It is, just don't do it. 1800 DPI is working so well. I'm really enjoying it. You can quickly build, and I am hitting my shots and nice flick shots. So it's a good sensitivity for me, but of course it could change between anybody, just for whatever feels right to you. I use a 0.65 brightness just because I feel the game is a little bit dark, so I turn it up a little bit. Here are my audio settings, and then I use Tritone 5 as my color blindness mode. And now straight into my key bindings. So I tried to split up my key bindings, kind of get a lot of key bindings on my mouse and a lot on my keyboard. I tried to separate those actually pretty evenly so that one hand wasn't like getting flooded with like buttons that I had to press, because I feel like removing that issue will remove like how badly you choke and like accidentally click other buttons and things like that. So I have it pretty evenly spread out between my mouse and my keyboard. I've got regular WASD. My auto run is not number, it is actually click in my mouse wheel. I feel like it's really nice. Crouch, I use left shift. And I use edit as left control. Now, my goal with creating these keybinds is I wanted to keep my hands on WASD as much as possible so you can have movement. I feel like it's really important to have really good movement while playing Fortnite, and if you have to constantly take your fingers off of the WASD keys to click your walls or whatever keybind you need to click, I feel like it's really detrimental. So with shift and control as my edit and crouch, I can keep my hands on WASD and still move at the same time. It makes editing super smooth. It makes your ability to create really nice plays a lot more prominent. Prominent. I don't know if I'm getting that right. I think you know what you mean though. I think you know what I mean though. So yeah, that was kind of my goal with making these. Reload, you don't use that super often, so I've got a little further away than WASD. You use all the time, so I have that close to WASD. My harvesting tool, I have that a button on my mouse. That way I have only 5 weapon slots I have to click with my left hand. I usually go pump, SMG, AR, and then these two are just like healing and sniper sort of thing. I find that really easy and I really enjoy that. You can keep your hands on W all the time, and you only have to take your hands off the movement like ASD for a quick second just to switch guns. Crouch shift again. Now my wall, my stairs, and my roof are all on my mouse, but I have my floor on my keyboard, which is Q, super close again, right next to the WASD key, so you barely have to take your hands off of it. Especially while building, you always want to make sure you can click the W key. Anything else? Trap, yes. Trap I have as F. Traps are very crucial in this meta, I guess I would say. So having a really easy button to click for traps is very crucial. I can quickly click it, place down a trap, and get straight back to full range of movement with my WASD keys. Repair building, you don't use very often, so I have that a little further away. Changing materials, I use my right click button. I feel like it's really easy. Left click to place, right click to change. Like I said, edit is control, and the rest of it, they're not super You don't have to be super efficient about these. This is just kind of personal preference. So yeah, that's going to be it for my keybind.
Lighting.
Oh, no, I'm good, Dread. I don't need it. Yeah, bro.
But do you want a heavy shotgun?